Have you ever wondered what it's like to work at a company with no vacation policy and no expense approvals? It sounds like chaos, right? Well, in 2020, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings and business professor Erin Meyer pulled back the curtain on this exact idea in their groundbreaking book, No Rules Rules, Netflix and the Culture of This wasn't just another business book. It was a manifesto that revealed the secret sauce behind one of the most innovative companies in the world. So, what is this secret sauce? It's a culture built on three core pillars: freedom, responsibility, and trust. While most corporations are tangled in layers of supervision, approval chains, and rigid rules, Netflix took a completely different path. They decided to treat their employees not like cogs in a machine, but like elite athletes on a championship team. Think about it, a pro sports team is packed with highly talented, self-motivated individuals who are trusted to perform at their best without a coach micromanaging their every move. That's the vision Hastings had for Netflix. He believed that bureaucracy was the enemy of creativity. To unleash true innovation, he had to get rid of the rules that held people back. This meant doing away with traditional corporate controls. He famously eliminated the formal vacation policy. Instead of tracking days off, Netflix simply trusted its employees to take the time they needed, knowing they were responsible enough to get their work done. He also scrapped expense reports and travel pre-approvals. The guideline was simple: act in Netflix's best interest. This radical trust empowered employees to make smart decisions quickly without waiting for a manager's signature. It's a system that says, we hired you because you are brilliant and responsible, so we trust you to act that way. But this revolutionary culture didn't just appear overnight. It was the result of years of trial, error, and evolution. To truly understand it, we have to go back to the beginning. Netflix started in 1997, not as the streaming giant we know today, but as a humble DVD buy mail rental service co-founded by Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph. It was a time when Blockbuster dominated the market, and the idea of getting movies through your letterbox was novel. But even back then, Hastings had a much bigger dream. He saw a future where the internet wouldn't just be for emails and websites, but for streaming entertainment directly into our living rooms. It was a bold, almost crazy idea at the time, but it was this forward-thinking vision that set the stage for everything that followed. The journey from a DVD startup to a global streaming powerhouse was filled with challenges. The dot-com bubble burst in the early 2000s, forcing Netflix to lay off a third of its staff. It was a painful moment, but it led to a surprising discovery. With a smaller, more focused team of high performers, the company's atmosphere actually improved. Productivity soared, and a new level of innovation emerged. This experience became a cornerstone of the Netflix culture: talent, density. Hastings realized that the key wasn't just hiring good people, but creating an environment where exceptional people could thrive together. He compares it to a jazz band, where each musician is a master of their instrument, and they improvise together to create something beautiful. In a high-talent density environment, everyone pushes each other to be better. This led to another core principle: radical candor. At Netflix, feedback is a gift. The culture encourages employees to be incredibly open and honest with each other, from the junior engineer to the CEO. This isn't about being mean or brutally critical. It's about providing constructive, actionable feedback with positive intent. The idea is to help each other grow and to prevent mistakes from festering. Imagine a meeting where you can honestly tell your boss you think their idea won't work, and instead of getting defensive, they thank you for the feedback and the team works together to find a better solution. That's the ideal Netflix interaction. It removes the politics and ego from the workplace and focuses everyone on the best possible outcome. Of course, a culture of freedom and candor only works if you have the right people. This brings us back to talent density. Netflix is relentless in its pursuit of hiring and retaining what they call fully formed adults. People who are not only masters of their craft, but also have incredible judgment and a deep sense of responsibility. To attract and keep these top performers, Netflix introduced another radical idea: paying top of market. They don't believe in performance bonuses or complicated compensation packages. Instead, they figure out the highest salary a person could get for their role at any other company and pay them that. This removes the distraction of salary negotiations and allows employees to focus entirely on their work. But what about when things go wrong? With so much freedom, aren't people bound to make mistakes? Absolutely. And Netflix embraces that. Failure isn't punished. It's seen as a natural byproduct of innovation. The culture encourages taking calculated risks and placing big bets. Some bets will fail, and that's okay, as long as the company learns from them. For example, When they first launched their streaming service, it was a huge bet that cannibalized their successful DVD business. Many thought it was a terrible idea, but Hastings knew that to stay relevant, they had to be willing to disrupt themselves. That bet paid off spectacularly. This mindset that it is better to try and fail than to not try at all is what keeps Netflix ahead of the curve. So, no rules. Rules isn't just the story of how a DVD company became a global media empire. It's a deep dive into the philosophy that made it possible. It's about building a company based on trust instead of control, on freedom instead of process, and on talent instead of bureaucracy. It shows that when you remove the traditional corporate guardrails and empower amazing people to do their best work, you don't get chaos. You get a culture of constant reinvention, where innovation is a top-down directive, but an organic force that bubbles up from every corner of the company. That, in essence, is what makes the Netflix culture so legendary and so powerful. It's a bold experiment in how we work, and its lessons are more relevant today than ever before.